hello, Ayana Peterson, the thrifting diva. And you're joining in because we're making guilt-free ish Cajun chicken pasta tonight. And so I am so excited to make this meal. It is a high protein meal that's going to have more proteins per the calories that we're about to do. So it's going to be a quick meal. I am doing this from scratch so you can see exactly how it takes. If you're trying to lose weight, as I have been recently, I have been really focusing on high protein meals and trying to make sure that the calories that I'm eating count. And this meal is going to be one that you definitely want to stick around and see how you can make it. Now, it's I say Cajun chicken pasta, but I have some sausage in the fridge that I might try to drop in there. So we're going to see. It's also a great meal that you can do for meal prep. Now, if you've been following me as I'm going through this journey of cooking different meals to satisfy my high protein need and my flavor and taste, then you know that meal prep for me cannot be the same thing every day. But this is a great meal that I could see myself eating 2, maybe 3 days a week. So I'm going to start getting the stuff together. But the reason, before I jump into the meal, I just want to let you know that if you are someone looking to get fit, to start really being focused on your health, then this is definitely, high protein should be something that you should be definitely looking to incorporate in your meals. And I can say for a fact it's working. Yes, I'm working out, but I absolutely give credit where credit is due. And I think my nutrition is driving the results. Today, getting ready this morning, I looked in the mirror and I was like, am I seeing the abs coming in? The abs are showing, and indeed they are. I was like, and that's literally no, I'm now into 6 weeks. 6 weeks of consistency, but 6 weeks of really pushing high protein, high protein. And I'm not eating anything that I'm like, I am not forcing myself to eat anything. I'm actually eating food that make me feel alive. I am enjoying my food. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, to be honest with you. And I'm enjoying trying new meals that incorporate this high protein. And so Cajun chicken pasta is absolutely one of my favorite, all-time favorite meals to cook. I love the consistency. I love that it calls for the amount of spices and flavoring because, as I have said, I am not giving up flavor for the fit. I'm sorry. Like, I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to rock my body, but I'm not going to be eating some dry chicken all day. I don't care what they say, how much proteins, how much nutrients. I don't care. And that was one of the things that when I started going down this journey and I was like, okay, well, let me incorporate a good, healthy, nutritious meals. Everything was a chicken breast and name your veggies. And it'll be for 5 days. And I'm like, damn, we got to do better than this. Like, we got to do better than this. And I was thinking on the way home, I was like, damn, what am I going to cook tonight for dinner? Because my dinner is also my meals for lunch. Like, let's knock it out all in one right there. My meals and my dinner is one because nobody got time to be cooking extra and extra. Like, I'm tired. It's end of the evening. I want to cook something flavorful. And then the next day, I want to have my leftovers at lunch. And while I'm driving home, I was like, ooh, some Cajun chicken pasta would be amazing. And then I remembered heavy cream is probably not going to be the thing that I need. So how am I going to make this high protein? So stick around and let's jump into doing this. Flavoring your food is not going to add any calories. I mean, spices don't come with calories. So why are we not? Salt and pepper should not be the only thing that you're throwing on your meals. So we're going to do a Cajun chicken pasta. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. I was so excited to see those. I could not believe it. I was like, wait, I even had to turn to my husband. I was like, babe, do you see muscles showing? And if you want to see the muscles, I know the protein is doing that because as I am building and I'm lifting weights, I want that fat to melt off quickly so you could see the muscles. And that six pack, baby, it is coming in and I cannot I cannot wait because I'm gonna act like a whole different person. I'm telling y'all now, I'm gonna be a whole different person. When that six pack is definitively there, I'm gonna be a different person. Damien, thanks for jumping back on tonight. I appreciate it. Universal Games. It's a temporary situation. I'm fat is a temporary situation. Jump on some, just do some walking, just some walking alone. If a rock eats a stone, is that cannibalism? Not sure. You let me know. Aaron said hi. Thanks for jumping in. Um, Rohan is getting deep tonight, but love that you're here. And Bailey collects. Welcome back again, girl. Thanks for jumping in. I'm late, but I've been girl. It's all good. I was late jumping on just now because I couldn't find. I need like a blender, and I came down thinking I'll just use the blender, and then what do you know? Hubby or my daughter made a drink, and I'm just not in the mood to wash it. So I was looking for my smaller blender. So we good, we good. Let's begin. So have you had, let me know in the comments, have you had Cajun chicken pasta before? And if you have you had a high protein Cajun chicken pasta where you really cannot feel guilty eating this and you can eat this for multiple days? Jacob has Jacob a shout out because I found out yesterday he took his, okay. I think you mentioned this, Jacob, before, so I'm not sure how many times Homeboy took his life, but let's jump in. As I said, if you've had Cajun chicken pasta before, let me know in the comments. Good evening, Dr. Jonathan. Damien, walking stimulates the fat to be converted into energy to be used by. Damien, I'm loving your little tips that you be dropping in here. Really loving it. Right now, I am doing 15,000 steps a day. So I'm going to use the next hour to really move around the kitchen, which normally we'll see how many steps I'm going to be able to take. I'm starting off at 9,800. So at the end of this live, I want to see how many steps it really takes. It will get me just in cooking, which is another thing that you can do when you're doing it at home and now you're adding steps. Okay, I've made the Zatarain's version in a box. Okay, that's one version, Thrifting Atlanta, but that is definitely not a high protein. That's definitely not going to be the high protein one that we're going to be doing today. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to season the chicken. Okay, and as I said, I just came from the supermarket. And I'm going to grab the chicken in the meanwhile. Okay? And so as we do this, we want to count the proteins we're using. Okay? And so 25 grams of protein, okay, in a serving of chicken. So we are already there. I am trying to hit about 40 grams of protein. And now why we're looking at protein as the main thing that we're trying to do is because protein is going to get us, it's going to repair our muscles, right? We're going to repair the muscles, and it's also going to keep us feeling full longer. So you're not going to be snacking. And it really helps when you're not feeling, when you're not feeling like you want to keep snacking and stuff like that. It allows you to stop snacking, which is stop adding more calories. Okay, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So I have chicken breast tenders. Once again, I still want my flavor. And chicken breast by itself just sometimes is a little like kind of dryish, boring, and stuff like that. So I went with the chicken tenders today, but you can use definitely chicken breast. So I'm going to cut these up. I caught alive. Yes, Nisi, we are doing high protein Cajun chicken pasta. And because I am on a journey on getting my six pack in very shortly, but also just my fitness and lifestyle. I think even though I talk about a budget lifestyle, a luxe lifestyle on a budget, you definitely want to include our health, okay? Because you can't do anything if we are not. I'm just going to rinse the chicken a little bit before I start cutting it up. You cannot do anything. You cannot do anything if you don't have a healthy lifestyle. I'm sorry. Okay. You can't enjoy traveling if your knees can't take you anywhere, or if you feel out of breath when you walk 6 steps. So for me, it is all about getting into shape. And then the other thing that really hit home the other day was the fact that, man, I had all these clothes that I stopped being able to wear because they were not fitting the way I bought them. And I was like, what we're not going to do is waste all these clothes. I have too many beautiful thrifted pieces that I've gotten around the world in, different cities and countries and states. And what we're going to do is get our behind in shape. So that's what I've been doing. So it's 5 days a week I'm working out, and it's nothing huge, right? Like, listen, I'm not trying to be Iron Man or Iron Woman. It's nothing huge. I go to the gym in the morning. I work out for 30 minutes, do some strength training, and then I go, and then 20 to 30 minutes, I do walking at a very brisk speed. Okay. That's my routine. And I'm telling you, I have done a similar routine last year around the same time. I was like, well, I need to get into shape. And I started going to the gym every day as well. And I did not see the same impact on my body the way I'm seeing this time in such a quicker time. And I'm crediting that with what I'm eating. I am so focused and hyper focused on a high protein meals that I think that's what's getting me the results that I'm getting so quickly. As I said today, this morning, I just got out of the shower and happened to look in the mirror, and I was like, wait. Is the six pack really starting? Like, I could see the muscles on the side, I got some ways to go. Don't get me wrong. But do you know what it feels like when you've been working hard on something and you see the glimpse of it coming? Man, I wanted to get to the gym even faster today because I was like, oh, it's working. But even though it's the gym is helping it, it's really the food. They have said over and over and over and over that it's 70% nutrition, and then the next 30% what you're doing for activities. And I am definitely sure because I've been so hyper focused on my meals, making sure I'm hitting 30 to 40 grams of protein at for all meals, have been making this a absolutely it's revolutionary for me. And I'm just mad that I didn't know about that before. Google Navy SEAL breathing, all great ideas. Walking is definitely great. Walking at a fast pace helps increase the body's nitric oxide production rate. Therefore, you can get a good pump from that too. Absolutely. Yes, that is so true. So as I said, right now I have 15,000 steps that I have. I got a Fitbit just to make sure you want to make sure you're doing what you need to do and holding yourself accountable. And last night, like right before bed, I was at 14,000, like 975. Before I hit the bed, I went downstairs a couple of times, walked around, put away some stuff just so I can have that thing go off. 15,000, you hit it. And so that is the motivation for me. I'm not trying to do things too hard. I promise you, I'm not trying to do anything too hard because I'm 45. Like, come on. I'm not trying to run a marathon tomorrow. But I do understand that I got to do something. And I'm finding easy ways of getting to the goal. And that's all what I'm saying. All right. So we're making Cajun chicken pasta tonight, but we're going to make it yummy like Cajun chicken pasta should be. But this time we're going to make it high protein. So I am going to be seasoning the chicken first, and then we'll work on the other things. And so to make your own Cajun spicings, you would need garlic powder, the same things, garlic powder, onion powder, some oregano. You absolutely need paprika. That's what's going to give you that thing. Some cayenne pepper for the heat, salt, black pepper. What am I missing, guys? Am I missing anything? Okay. And then, because it's all about the seasoning, if you know me, I'm from the Caribbean, and it's about the seasoning. Like, we're not doing anything where we're not seasoning our food the way it's supposed to be, okay? So I've cut up the chicken into some small cubes like that, okay? And then I'm about to over season this, but that's okay. I'm going to use my hands to get in there and make sure all the pieces are nice and seasoned. So I'm going to just garlic powder, onion powder. Dang, I put way too much onion powder in there, but it's all good. Some smoked paprika. And this one you're going to kind of go a little ham on. Because if the color of the chicken don't change, you didn't season it enough. That's my rule. Okay, and then some cayenne pepper. Not too much yet because my my kids don't really like spicy food, but I'm a re-season throughout this process. I have oregano. Just get that in there. And then we have salt. I'm not going to put, actually, here's the reason. I'm not going to put salt in it because when I was at the supermarket today, I saw this. This New Orleans, my friend who is from Thrifting Atlanta, who's from New Orleans, always whenever I say New Orleans, she's like, it's not New Orleans. You're pronouncing too many of the letters. And I'm like, what? But I'm from the Caribbean, so when I see this, I say New Orleans, okay? But let me know in the comment, she tripping? But I saw this. I've never seen it before. The only thing is, this is going to have salt in it, right? And salt, it's the first ingredient, which means it's going to have a lot of salt. So I'm not going to add my own salt because I want to try how this is. It's probably the same thing of what I did, but I'm just extra. I want to try it, and I bought it, and I was like, oh, let's see. So I'm not going to, because these things always have so much salt in it, I'm not going to go ham. But if you don't want to do all of this extraness, you could do that as well, okay? I'm just going to put a little bit, well, a little much, and put that in there. But if you're checking this out, this is from Weber, New Orleans, or whatever you want to call Cajun seasoning, okay? And then I did find this one. This is a Creole seasoning. I'm going to mix this in together. Have y'all had the Cajun with the Creole mix? Okay. So I'm mixing it together. But when I saw this, it said no salt. And I was like, about damn time. About damn time. Like, stop adding salt in my seasonings. I'll do that, you know? Just give me the other parts of it. So I was so excited when I saw this. I was like, what? I didn't even know this existed, but it's the no salt one. And I do have the other seasoning I use normally is Slap Your Mama. But this one has a lot of salt in it, and it's always annoying because I have to remember, don't over salt it because we're trying to be healthy. And so this is the one you normally see, the Tony's Chacheries, or I don't even know how you pronounce that. But this is their Creole seasoning. But I'm going to mix this because we're about to make this thing jamming. But once again, this one doesn't have salt in it, so I'm gonna be a little much on there. So I'm excited about that. And then I'm going to add some red pepper flakes. I know I added a little bit of cayenne pepper, but it's not Cajun if it doesn't have a little bit of heat, okay? So bring the heat. All right. For those who don't like touching their chicken with their hands, you can always, let me see. I'm going to use a spatula thing. Now, remember I said, if your chicken don't turn color, then you have not seasoned it enough. Go back to the drawing board. Okay, and I'm looking at some pieces in here that look like it has not turned color. So I might have to go in and add some more things, but let's see. I'm going to add a little more. Looks like we need some more paprika in here. Okay. We got to make it's the color we need to get there. And then I'm going to add maybe a little more of the New Orleans. Okay. All right. And then maybe a little more of the Creole. Because that Creole and Cajun mix, let me tell you, you're never going to want to have it without, like, you're going to ask those restaurants, like, y'all mixing your seasonings, right? You mixing it up. Because it is, Okay, so you see that color there? Get that all the seasoning there. Now, if we're doing meal prep, this is something you could do on the weekends and just put this aside and leave it and so for when you're ready to use it. But I'm showing you how quick you could also do this on a weeknight and get dinner, a high protein dinner and a high protein lunch all in one meal. Okay. What are we thinking? I'm going to bring this in, read a little bit of comments. Garlic, Himalayan salt. Okay, I do have that. Hear you, I definitely don't cross-contaminate. Yes, I'm a southerner. We love seasonings. I do watch my salt intake. Yeah, the salt, man. Sometimes I don't know. I use wooden boards for fruit and vegetable, never meat. Interesting. Okay. Is that kimchi or kim? No, not kimchi. Um, wooden boards are difficult to sanitize. They can be, definitely, because I don't put them in the I normally don't put them in. You're not supposed to put them in the dishwasher because then you'll lose the integrity of the board. Okay, but here we go. But thankfully, I've never been sick, and nobody I've cooked for have ever been sick, and not neither the family. So we might be doing something right. Okay, so the only thing you notice I never put in here was actual salt, and the reason being is that there's already salt in this guy, and there is actually no salt in this guy. So I might have to add salt at some point. But that's all good. We could taste it, you know. You taste your food while you're cooking. This is black pepper that I didn't put in there. I mean, black pepper just got to go in everything, you know, because he will act like, damn, you did not season me if you didn't have the black pepper. Okay, give me 2 seconds. I got to turn on the AC because, Lord, I know it's Southern California, but today it's been like, ugh, what kind of mess we in? It is hot, hot, hot. So I'm back. Okay, so chicken is seasoned, and I'm gonna just set this aside for a second. Okay, I'm gonna bring another board now. So I'm gonna put this on the side, get that a little, try to get the seasons to melt in there. Okay, I'm gonna leave my seasonings out though, as you can see here. I'm gonna leave those out because that's what we're gonna need to flavor the pasta still, okay? You layer your flavor. Don't just flavor and run. Don't flavor and run. Flavor and stick all the way through it, okay? So I'm gonna wash this board because I wanna chop up some vegetables. I wanna try to get everything done before I turn on the pot. Actually, no, I should start the pot of pasta. Now, remember we said we're doing high protein, okay? High protein. So let me show you the pasta we're going to use. Let me just get some water going here so this could start filling up so that when the pasta is done, the dinner is done. Ma'am, sir, take a picture. Take a picture, okay? Take a picture. So this is a high protein brahmi penne pasta. It is 21 grams of protein, 9 grams of fiber, and 53 grams of net carbs. Okay? So we're talking high protein here, okay? Guilt-free Cajun chicken pasta. Because the way I'm going to eat my calories, they better work besides just getting me fat. And so having it like that is going to be what does the trick. All right. I'm going to move these away. These were supposed to be put away. When my son does dishes, I swear you guys hear me say this, his idea of putting away the pots is to leave it on the stove. And we tell him all the time, like, dude, you live here. You should know where those things go, But that's what he does. So here's what I'm doing. I'm going to start my pot of pasta. I am going to season the water. What does that mean? You're going to have a good, healthy amount of, why is my stove not going on? You're going to have a good, healthy amount of, salt in there. Okay? We're seasoning the pasta. How many of you guys season your pasta? Don't add oil. We don't want, do not add oil to the water. You're going to have add a lot of, I have a good, maybe 3 good, nice spoonfuls of salt. And that's how you season your pasta. Promise you. I started doing that a couple of years ago, and I will never make pasta without doing that. Okay. So pot of pasta is going to start. I'm going to bring that to a boil and just cook it like the package says. But you want to look for a protein pasta. We are trying to do protein tonight, 40 grams. We're going to start already with the pasta. This pasta in a serving is going to give me 12 grams of protein, okay? And 200 calories. So we're already starting to get up there. We have the chicken that's going to get me another like 23 grams in a serving. We are already over 40. Okay. And then I'm going to add some more stuff. So we're going to probably top out about 50 grams of protein tonight. It's going to be beautiful. Okay. So make sure you get this. Take a picture. But there are other companies that make, I think I have another one here. Oh, here's another one. The Barilla. They have, if you want this one, the Barilla Penne. This is another protein pasta, okay? So even if you're not doing anything and you're just like, I'm not working out, I'm not doing anything, just a little few changes to the diet. A few tiny changes can make the difference. And so try to get yourself if you love pasta and you're like, I have to eat my pasta, a protein pasta. So we're gonna try this one. I've never had this one. I have had this one. So we're gonna try this one tonight, okay? All right, so we're going to put the pasta on. We've seasoned the water, as I said, which is basically puts a good hefty amount of salt in there. Marissa, thanks for joining. Appreciate that. Gloria, thank you. Gloria Addison, thank you for jumping in. I appreciate it. Bailey, I stole my boyfriend's phone. He keeps saying this channel is so nice and he's so full of... and it's full of personality. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so let's jump into the rest of the making the Cajun chicken pasta. But here's the thing. I was just in the fridge before I started and I saw I had some, I think I had some, yeah, I have some chicken sausage. What do you guys think? Do we add it? Do we go all overboard on this? Do we add the chicken sausage? Let me know in the comments. Am I adding chicken sausage and now we're doing Cajun chicken and sausage pasta? Should I go all the way in? Let's make this about at least now. I think we'll probably be at least 60, maybe, 55 to 60 grams of protein. I'm on the side of you just washing the cutting board. So when I get back, I want to know, should I add the chicken sausage to this pasta dish? Or am I doing too much? Let's just go with what we have. We're good. It's all good. You're ready to eat. And I'm doing way too much and adding more stuff. No one has answered yet. No real chicken. We have chicken. We've cut up the chicken already. And the chicken right now is marinating in the chicken is marinating in the, sorry, just want to make sure I don't hurt myself. The chicken is marinating right now with the Cajun spices. So should we add these were chicken tenders. So that's already there. But if I want to really pump up the amount of protein, hey, yo boy, Coco, thanks for joining. Should I add these? Because I'll just cut up a few and then it doesn't add much to making the dish. I'll tell you that. You don't really have to do much to do that. Okay. Those are already pre-cooked. So you're just heating them up along with the sauce and stuff that you're about to make. But I want to cut these things up so you can see whether we should do it. It will add that extra seasoning that you might not want. I don't know. I mean, when I've had chicken, New Orleans pasta, they normally had some type of sausage in there. And we're doing chicken. So I don't know. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it. You know, what's the worst that can happen? You just don't eat it. So the spices I use for the Cajun spices, we had garlic powder, onion powder, cayenne pepper, salt, black pepper, paprika. And then I did my own little thing. I added a Creole mix, and this one is a no salt one, which is so different and new to me because normally I absolutely love this one. No, I absolutely love this one, but the salt be killing me. I'm like, damn, let me do it myself. Like, come on, I didn't ask for your salt. I'm good. Salt ain't that expensive. And then I added this mix as well. It's a New Orleans Cajun seasoning. I've never seen this by Weber, the Grill Masters. So I added that in there. And so what I'm doing right now is just, I have some chicken sausage that I saw in the fridge, and I figured that went. And Zena is going to attack this when she sees it. My dog is walking around, so I just get that out of the way. And so I'm just going to add a few pieces. I'm going to saute these on the pot before I start adding some other things. They're already cooked, but you know what? This is adding more protein. And the whole game is how much protein can I add to still make the meal enjoyable. And every time I've had in the restaurants, when I've had Cajun chicken pasta, they've had sausage. So we're going to go with it. We're going to go with it. I'm not going to add too much. And we're going to just do that like that. And so just cut those up. As I said, it doesn't take much work to do this. Okay? I'm going to cut that up. I always love veggies. Love. And the best veggies to me, for Cajun chicken pasta is always going to be red peppers. Like, there is something about red peppers, but I'm going to add both of them. So let me rinse these really quick. And as I talk about this meal, just realize this is a very inexpensive, budget-friendly meal, okay? If you're following my channel, you know that I am about luxe on a budget, including what I eat. And so this meal is normally it's not that expensive when you go out, but it's even less expensive when you make it yourself. And now, not only is it going to be a meal, I'm making this for dinner for a family of 4, and then lunch for myself and my husband for the next day. And so you can't beat how much that's going to be at all, okay? Most of you are going to have most of these ingredients. You know, your veggies are going to not be ridiculously expensive. Although I went to the supermarket today, I'm cutting them in strips. Let me make sure you can see what I'm doing. And if I'm not answering you, I will roll back up and answer. But sorry, I'm trying to also show you how quickly this is. So I'm just cutting them in long strips. And I just, the taste of this against the creaminess of the pasta just be like, yes, yes, baby. So these are pretty long. So what I'm going to do is just cut them in half. You know, they get a little wilted after they get into the heat, but I'm just going to cut that. So we're going to have volume and a lot more. And I'm going to do a whole one for the pasta, the red and the green. Okay. And that will be only, well, I have now one more thing to ask you. I have mushrooms. Should I add the mushrooms? I think I might stick away from the mushrooms today. My husband does not eat mushrooms, but I've been trying to use this mushroom that I got the other day, so I don't waste it. You know. Okay. But I'm gonna see. And that's all the veggies I'm doing. I'm not gonna really add much more. If you want to add onion, well, I'm gonna add some onions, but just that's more of the flavoring, onions and garlic. Because you can't have Cajun chicken pasta without garlic. Like, it's not a thing. It's just not a thing. So I'm going to do like that. Cut these in half so they're not too tall. Because you have penne, you know, and penne is a pretty short pasta. So I don't want these to look too over. So there we go. All right. Any questions? never got to liking my, I know. Some people, it depends. It really depends. But my husband definitely never, and I've tried with him so many times, but he's like, babe, just leave that out. I'm not doing it. Okay, so the other thing that I'm trying to get, we have our veggies. I need onions. I need to cut up some onions. And so I'm going to use a white onion for this dish. You know, if you've been following me, you know I love my red onions, but I need a little more neutral onion here instead of the red onions. So I'm going to do a white onion to kind of have, it's just going to be neutral with my garlic. So I'm peeling an onion right now, and then I'm going to chop up probably half. This is a pretty big one that I have, and I'm just going to chop that up so that can go in and start making the cooking the vegetables and the sausage here. And then I will show you how we make our sauce, because normally, you know, us big backs before, that's me, I'm calling myself, when I used to make this dish, I would normally make it with a heavy cream, all the heavy cream in the world, okay? That's not gonna work tonight for me, okay? So I'm gonna show you how you can make a just flavorful cream for this and not feel guilty. But that fat from that heavy cream, I know you're gonna be like, girl, what are you gonna be able to make that will give the same feelings? Because that cream where you just is definitely. So just cut up a little bit of onions here, and then I'm gonna get a big pot because we're gonna be doing most of our stuff in the pot. What am I missing? I have that. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna get a big pot. Okay. All right. Remember what I have here already is the chicken. Okay. Actually, you know what I am missing? My garlic. My garlic. Let's get that garlic going. And so the garlic is a big one. And I'm going to see if I can get a whole bunch of there. Janet Wilson, thank you for jumping in. Nisi, I've never tried chicken sausage. Girl, Nisi. You missing out, mama. I've done chicken sausage with some of the high protein breakfast meals. I've done it with lunch. Oh my gosh. You got to try it with this one. It's chicken sausage with chicken. It's really good. And what I like about it is just an easy way to pop up on that protein. Ooh. Okay. But you got to try it. Well, I mean, it is a good one. All right. So I have my garlic. I hate peeling and cutting up garlic. But listen, don't be fooled. Getting it in a jar is not the same. I tried that before and I was like, well, you know what? The jar it's the same thing. You got to get fresh garlic. Like, ugh, it is not the same thing. Don't let them fool you. Don't overpay for garlic. You know, the jar, you know, the peeled, minced in a jar. It is, I don't know what that thing is. It's so flavorless. You just have to go in. But I hate this process of peeling and shelling, and sometimes you don't get like those big bulbs. You get these little small little ones. But it is not the same. I have a bottle in here that has been here. Look, see? You start peeling and then the shell wants to, I thought it's so translucent. I didn't even know there was a shell on this thing. Okay, there we go. But yeah, don't let them fool you. You want to get the fresh garlic. You're just going to have to, you know, and sometimes if I'm really good, I will put it in one of my small little chopper, but then I have to get the chopper out. Ugh, it's just a pain, but it's worth it because the way that garlic be giving it the flavor, it's like on its own, It is a magical. And if I had ginger, I keep saying this every time I cook. If you add garlic and ginger together with onions, whew, life changing. But I always forget the ginger when I go shopping because if I don't use it often, that little ginger becomes like this dry little root sitting in my pantry looking at me like, girl, you wasting money. So I'm going to have this little bit here. This is good. And now we got that. Okay, before I start putting all this together, because once we start, you see what I have here? Once we start, we're basically going all the way to finish, okay? So you wanna have all your things, your veggies chopped up. You wanna have everything pretty much prepped. And this is why this is a good prep meal. Like if you wanna start prepping on Sunday, you know, you can do this, especially for us busy moms and people who are tired. You can do a little bit each day. But this is what I have. I want to make the sauce first so that when we are ready to put everything together, it's on point. What we have, there's some white people, not even sure what that means, just here sharing the knowledge with everyone. I'm thinking Damien is a pharmacist. He's coming through with the knowledge though, right? He's coming through. Donna, the chicken is right here. I put it on the side so that it can get that marinade going because I didn't have a chance to marinate it before. Because you imagine when we marinate this in advance, oh my goodness. But we're gonna work with what we got tonight. So I marinated this. I have this, if you're just jumping on, I marinated it with garlic powder. We got some onion powder in here. Of course, you got to get that paprika going. You got black pepper. You got some cayenne. You need the heat. And we got some dried oregano leaves. Then I found this little guy, and I was like, let's throw him in. Creole and Cajun mix. You will change your life. And then I saw this, and I was like, why not double up on the Cajun? Why not? Now, this has salt in it, so that's why I did not add any additional salt. While I'm cooking, I will taste my food and determine how much more salt. Because water is boiling over there, and I have the pasta getting ready. It's a protein pasta, and I have seasoned the water. I'm from the Caribbean. Don't mess with me when it comes to the seasoning, okay? We're not talking no salt, pepper, and throw this in. So that's what we have going. But before I put everything together, I'm just gonna move this to the side because this is pretty much ready. I wanna make the sauce. And now if you do Cajun chicken pasta, you know the sauce is heavy cream. We're not doing that because we're trying to top out at 50 grams of protein tonight on maybe, I think, 50 grams of protein, and your calories are probably going to hit, let's see, the whole box here is, for each serving, it's 200 calories. Let's say I have two servings tonight, 400 calories. My protein is now higher than the amount of calories, and that's what you would consider a high protein meal, one that is worth it, okay? So what I'm going to do is show you how to make this, dressing. I mean, not dressing, the sauce. All right. This is my little blender when I don't want to pull out my big, the big one, and make sure I can get it pulled back here. Okay. All right. Y'all could see me. Y'all could see me. Yeah, no. Okay. All right. So this is the blender, and I'm going to use a couple of things. Do not just stick with me on this one. Okay. Stick with me. Don't turn me off. Here's what we're using. We're going to use a couple of things that you're going to be like, what in the damn world? And I just want you to stick with it. We're going to use yogurt. We're going to use cottage cheese. And we are going to use some Parmesan. Okay? Now, I do have the Parmesan cheese that's already shredded. I bought that earlier this week for another dish. But for some reason, whenever you're using like pre-shredded Parmesan cheese in these types of sauces, they do not. They just don't come out right. I don't know if it just doesn't bind. I don't know what it is, but it does not come out right at all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna right here get some in here because I want this as authentic as I could possibly get it. So I have my little cutting board. I'm gonna cut off probably won't even use all of this, but we're gonna do this. Parmesan cheese is gonna have a little bit of protein in it, so I'm okay with that. And then we're gonna just using a little thing, just gonna shred that, and that's gonna go in here. And the reason I'm putting this in a blender first is so I wanna get that cottage cheese, because you know the consistency of cottage cheese could be, yeah, no, we don't want that. We want a smooth, creamy sauce, much like if I was using heavy cream. You know, when you pour that heavy cream in and you're like, ooh, baby. Now, I see a lot of videos, especially on Instagram, about, you know, cooking pastas, and it's always with, you know, a lot of it is this with the heavy cream and stuff like that. You could only do that so much before you literally feel like a big back. I promise you this one is guilt-free. Because as I said at the beginning of this video, your girl started to see a six-pack coming in, and I've been only at this for about 6 weeks. Actually, damn it, no. No, I have not. No. I have been at this July 8th was when I started. Today is what? Is today the 8th? Today might be the 8th, I think. Let me see. Today's the 7th. I promise you, if you look at my before and after pictures, you're going to be like, damn, what is she doing? And this has been what I've been doing consistently since July 8th. Nobody's going to tell me different. Okay? Nobody. Like, as I said, this morning, tomorrow I'm going to wear a dress. Y'all will see it. This morning, I literally came out of the shower and saw that. And I was like, wait, what's going on here? Okay. So what I have here is the low fat cottage cheese. And we want to blend this so we don't get the chunkiness of cottage cheese. Okay. This is high protein. This is what we call the Lamborghini in protein. This guy here says, I'm going to give you 13 grams of protein, 90 calories in a serving. This guy said, listen, put me on. Put me on. Tap me in, coach. Put me in, coach. That's the cottage cheese. And now I never used to like cottage cheese before this. So I'm going to do things to make this, you know, like we're going to make this. We're going to make this work. And then cottage cheese says, put me in. And then blended Greek yogurt said, hold my water. Hold my water. 18 grams of protein, 100 calories. She said, hold my beer. Hold my beer, because watch this. So all I'm doing is I'm eyeballing it. Okay. Now I'm probably going to have to go in and add more because this is the sauce. Okay. This is the sauce that we're going to use for this. Okay. Now, here's what I'm going to do because I'm Black. We season everything. We're going to top this off with a little bit of our Cajun seasoning. Okay. So here we are. I'm going to put, right now we have this in here. Okay. I'm going to add some Parmesan. I'm not going to use all because I want to put some directly into the pasta when we start. And since this guy already has the whole shebang, I'm just going to add a little bit of this one. I'm not going to use the others. I'm actually going to mix this. Y'all feel me? Okay, so we're going to get that in there. Not too much, right? Like that. Let's not overpower stuff. Let's not go ham. We're just gonna season that a little bit. Okay. If you hear the blender, I apologize. I have on a mic, so it might be closer to you. Then you'll be like, damn, girl, you're going to blow our drums off here. And so I love this blender. It's so compact, so easy to use, and it doesn't take up a lot of space, you know? Obviously, it's smaller, but when I don't want to pull out the full, I don't want to pull out my full food processor, this is what I do. Okay. So you see how it's not all there yet, but you see how that's coming along? So I'm going to get a spatula to make sure we get all in there. And the pot of water is boiling. I'm going to add that because now that we're about to start getting things moving, it's going to move quick. So keep up, okay? Keep up. Putting the protein pasta in my seasoned water. I'm going to move that around so that things don't stick in there. And I'm going to show you a little trick with the pasta water that you're going to be like, girl, you cooking tonight. You cooking and teaching. Cooking and teaching. You're gonna have somebody over and be like, I'm gonna have some people over because this meal is gonna be shared. So I have a little spatula here. I like these rubber spatula because I could get down in there. Now, obviously, this is super thick, okay? This is super thick. So what you can do, I'm gonna blend it a little more. So we could get all the seasoning mixed up in there. And the more you blend it, it's that cottage cheese that we don't want lumpy. We don't want lumpy. And I'm going to taste it to see if I need to add more seasonings to it. Okay, I'm sorry I'm missing. I buy the frozen sliced peppers and onions. That's a good one. I don't have patience to cut up veggies. I'm sorry I'm missing so many of the discussion. I'm just trying to get y'all doing this so that we can do it. Why don't you take the mushroom that you bought and fix it so you can grow some more? That way you won't waste it. I know. You know what? I'm just going to make it for breakfast. Catherine, I appreciate the compliment. I'm just going to make it for breakfast. You're right. Like, yes, I know, hubby. Now, look how thick this thing is, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the water from the pasta, that starch, to kind of break it up. And that's the same thing I did, like even when I would cook pasta with heavy cream, to kind of loosen up the pasta and the sauce a little bit. I would take this water from the boiling pasta. So I'm just going to get a small cup to do that. If I have a small cup. Okay, not here, not here. Let's get a little cup. Guys, I had my pot on, didn't even know. Nobody told me that that pot been going. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit of water from here. Just a little bit. I just don't want it as thick because we want it creamy. And then we're gonna put that back in there. If you are looking for this thing, you gotta check it out on Amazon. It's so good. Okay, there we go. So now it's starting to get a little more creamy. And don't worry if it's not as, okay, see it? Okay, and then I want to taste it so that we know, like, hey, do you need, oh my God. I'm gonna add a little more seasoning, but you could already taste it. I'm gonna add a little more seasoning and I'm gonna add a little more Parmesan cheese. And I'm gonna add a little more of this guy. As I said, you can use the other seasonings, but this is already doing what it needs to do, So I'm gonna add a little more of that. Let me give it a little more splash. And then we're gonna do one more turn. And now it's time to get this bad boy over there. Okay? I love your cooking and tea. I found you on accident and now I love, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I don't even know how, okay, so here we go. So this is our cream. Okay, we're gonna bring this over here and I'm gonna bring y'all over here with me now. Let Let me show y'all what we're about to do. Okay. All right. Time to get it all together now. Let's get it all together now. All together now. Okay. Stay with me here. We got our pasta on this side. I don't want this to get too, remember, you're cooking pasta to get, you don't want it to be too soft, just al dente. This is going to need a little more. And then I'm going to, in the meanwhile, take out my strainer. So when it's ready, I don't have to worry about that. Okay, what we got here, I'm going to get some oil going, and we're going to be cooking the veggies, and then we're going to cook the sausage. Then we're going to cook the chicken. We got that? We moving together? Okay. You could do it in any order, but this is the order I like doing it. So I'm going to go all in. I'm going to do the onions and garlic first. If you could smell, I just love the smell of this. Like, I don't care what you're cooking. It just smells like you know what you're doing when garlic and onion hit that pot. Okay? It just, And if the pot is really hot too, it just tells them. It tells them like, she know what she's doing. Okay? Now this is super hot because, as I said, I put this pot on just now and forgot that I even had it on. So bear with me as I have to pay attention. You don't want the garlic burning, because burnt garlic now, ooh, that's a different level. Okay. And as the onion starts to, get a little translucent and soft, we can go ahead and add the red peppers. I'm going to do that. I'm going to also add the sausage in at the same time. As I said, this is chicken sausage because we're just building protein on protein. Like, I'm going to raise my I'm going to raise the pot high so we could get that cooking and charring and everything there. Okay, I have time for some questions. I think the veggies look delicious. I love some peppers and onions. I eat them lightly seasoned and saute them. They go with everything. This could be your meal already. If you wanted to stop here and say, you know what, I ain't got no time. This is a meal in of itself. It's high protein, low calorie. But we're going all the way on this one, okay? So I'm gonna leave it alone for a little bit so that we get some color going on the chicken. Because color in the food is what you gotta have color in your food. And I know I made a meal this week and people were like, girl, I like fish, but I need some color in my fish. I need to see it. It is what it is, but I like color too. So I have this on high, and I don't mind if it gets, the veggies start to char a little bit. That's all the Cajun in it. That's Cajun for you. That charred, kind of burnt. That's Cajun food. Okay? I'm going to check on this guy, see if he's ready. I'm okay with using the same spoon because I'm about to put them and mix them in together. So I'm just going to check. Just a little more, but it's seasoned so well. Not too salty. If I wanted to have some olive oil and garlic, this would be a meal by itself too. But I love it when the pot, let me show you what I'm talking about, when things are starting to come. Look at that pot. I love that. When the food is starting to season the pot, you know you're doing something right. It's all good. It's all good. To add cream to a sauce and more protein. Catherine, thanks for that one. I've been getting some tips from you guys, and I'm loving it. I am loving it. So we're adding this. Some of the sausage is starting to brown nicely. And so that's what we want to do. So keep moving it around. And then I'm going to remove this and then add the chicken so the chicken can get nice and caramelized on the pot. Well, it won't caramelize because there's no sugars, but it could get its own cooking. So I'm going to get a plate for this because these are going to come out soon. And then we're going to add that. What's up? Okay. So I'm just going to put this guy back here. And I'm keeping an eye. I'm keeping an eye on that pasta. Oh my God. It smells. I mean, I haven't even done anything to these things. This is just veggies and the chicken, but that chicken sauce is just, it's giving. It's giving. It is giving. So I'm gonna, and you just want it to brown the sausage a little bit. As I said, we eat with our eyes around here. If when you look at it, it look alive, it's not ready. It's not ready. Let's see. Cannelli beans add a lot of umami to the dish. Great flavor and great texture. I don't know. I had cannelli bean. How you say it again? Cannellini beans. I don't know. I've never really got down with it. I've never got down. Okay. So I'm gonna pour this out. I think this is ready because this is gonna come back on the fire. So I'm gonna pour this out. As I said, the fire is, I have this on high and it's because I'm trying to get my sausage some color. I don't like when they look like, we just got them and they don't know what to do with them. So I like the color, and when you're doing Cajun chicken pasta, it's about the color anyway. So I'm gonna also take this off because I think this is ready. And remember, this is still gonna cook a little more on my pot when I put the sauce in. So I'm gonna take this off and I am going to save some of that water. Before I empty this, make sure you're saving some of the pasta water, okay? I might want to do a little more actually. So I have two, I took out a little bit. Okay, I may not use all, but I want to make sure I have the pasta water for when I'm ready. So I'm going to strain this. You're just going to strain it in a strainer. And remember, I'm using protein pasta for this dish. But if you don't have it and you're just going to use your regular pasta, that's fine. Just make sure that you're trying to make up for it with the protein. All right. Okay, here we go. So this is ready. And so I'm going to pour this out. Okay. I'm going to add, using the same pot with all of this nice seasoning, I'm now going to add a little bit of olive oil on there, and we're going to get the chicken in there. Remember, the chicken has been marinating for like an hour, so that's, and we're going to get the chicken seasoned. It's been marinating now in our Cajun seasoning. So we're going to drop that in there. Okay. And as I said, when you marinated your chicken and season it, if it didn't change color, you did not marinate enough. Or not marinate, you didn't season enough. It should change color on you there. Okay. Hello, Nagil. Oh yeah, it's been it's been marinating there. So I'm gonna add that. And once the chicken is done, now we're gonna start adding back everything, including our protein cream, which instead of using that very fat, heavy, that very fat, heavy cream, we're going to be using the one we made, and we made that one with cottage cheese. We made it with yogurt, and we made it with some parmesan, and we slightly seasoned it. Okay. And I like when you cut it up like this, it cooks faster than when it's a big piece and then you cut it later. So I try to cut it up because sometimes, you know, you got to make sure you got chicken breast got to cook all the way through. If you have a thick piece and then you got to be checking and cutting, just cut it up so you could see with your own eyes. It's going from pink to white. Okay. And then we're going to add back the veggies. Look at how that looks. Oh my goodness. Linda, how are you? Girl, I'm making myself hungry. This is dinner, and then this is going to be lunch tomorrow. So I'm excited about that because obviously it's inexpensive, and then I don't have to worry about how am I going to pack in my proteins each day. Okay. And I'm loving how the pot is getting that burnt grease, not grease, but it's like that, all those seasonings at the bottom is going to do so well when we add now the veggies and our cream, and then we will re-season, right? You season to taste. That's the thing. Don't just think about it. Taste it, season it some more. Okay, so the chicken is looking good. Goody, good, good. Look at that. Bring y'all in. Let me not hide it. Let me not hide it. Chicken is looking good. And I'm just making sure that there's no pieces that still have any white in it. We don't want to have anybody getting sick. The matter, it's good food. Good food, guiltless food, you know. I haven't had pasta in a while. And, you know, a lot of these things, when you start working out, they're like, oh, no carbs, no this, no that. No, listen, I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat what I want to eat. I'm just going to be intentional about it. And like, let's figure it out. So it becomes so second nature to me. Okay, that's looking great. All right, we're going to start adding back stuff now. Okay, chicken is going in, and now we're mixing it in. Oh my gosh. Let me know if y'all liking what y'all see here. Because this house is smelling. If you were to walk into this house right now, you will smell this. This is smelling so amazing. And before I put the pasta in, I'm going to put the cream in. So where's my cream? Oh, girl, my cream right here. Okay, so before I put the pasta in, I'm going to put the cream. Okay, and so there goes the cream. This is our heavy cream. But listen, and guilt-free. Okay. Now, this is the game, right? How thick, how smooth we want it, how much we want. This is how we start playing with our, you know, playing with the flavors and then tasting to see. Obviously, as the liquid goes, some of that nice seasoning on the bottom is going to start picking up and getting right back into the meal. This is not enough. Okay. So I'm going to start adding a little bit of the pasta water that I saved, remember? And then I'm going to add some more of my cream. My goodness, guys. If somebody were to come over now, they won't know. They won't know. Look at how that sausage is coming together. Oh my goodness. And all the bits of seasoning is picking up because, you know, when you add liquid to that, I don't even have to clean this pot when I'm done. I'm just going to rinse it. Look at this. Tell me this doesn't look good here. Tell me. And as I said, this is a high protein Cajun chicken pasta. I'm going to probably need to do a little bit of re-seasoning on it, you know. But look at this. Oh my gosh. But you got to taste your food, right? You got to taste it to see like, all right, is it really doing what it's supposed to do? Or is it all in my head? Now remember I had some of that Parmesan cheese left over. Look how we're gonna add that in there. Oof. We're gonna make that look okay. And so I think I'm gonna add the pasta now. Okay, now in goes the pasta. And now it's a matter of getting that all up in there. I have cream left over still to get that pasta on there because I probably put too much water. And that's okay. I just want to get this moved around like that. And then now we're going to go in with the rest of the cream. Okay. I thought I had made too little, but this is just right. And I'm going to lower the heat so I'm not overcooking anything at this point. Now it's just trying to get everything mixed in nice and creamy. Oh my God. And then get that all mixed in there. Make sure every pasta noodle is coated with some cream. Tell me, who's ready for dinner? Who's coming over? I probably shouldn't say that out loud because, you know, I'm a public stream and folks might show up. And this is what I'm talking about, guiltless eating. Because who's going to tell me I can't have pasta when I'm trying to see that six-pack in a week? Look at this. Okay, so I'm going to taste it. Let's see what it needs some more of. I'm going to probably put some more seasoning on this, but let's taste it. Because you want to make sure, oh my God, you want to make sure you have all the seasoning. I want a little bit of heat. Actually, there's heat. Oh no, there's enough heat. I'm going to add, there's enough heat. Oh, this is definitely, there's more than enough heat. So no more heat on that. And I'm doing a little bit more shredded chicken Parmesan cheese. Just to get that nuttiness of the Parmesan cheese. And oh, baby, baby, come, listen. And this is probably over 50 grams of protein. I'm going to eat like a baby tonight, a king tomorrow. There we go. And then, of course, what are you guys thinking? Got a whole bunch of dishes here. I'll move this so that, you know, we looking at the food like we in a restaurant. What y'all think? Look at this. Okay, add a little. I didn't need all of the water. I probably went a little too much on the water. But sometimes, you know, you just never know. I didn't know what that cottage cheese and yogurt mix was going to do for it, you know? So I did it like that. But is the high protein pasta any good? How is the texture taste? It honestly tastes like the same. Let me get I've had it before. It's not gritty. Like I've had chickpea Parmesan pasta before and it was like gritty. I don't know what that means, but it's not. It tastes like regular pasta. This one, as I said, let me see. Let me show you the one I use. This one. But before, so you're you want to be in there? Oh, my daughter's just eating her food. Okay. But this is the one that I use today. I like this. I have had it where it's a little gritty and I'm like, this tastes like sand and I'm not doing this. But this one really does taste good. So I'm gonna give this one, I might give them a little review. It looks delicious. It smells amazing. I am only gonna add one more thing because I definitely like my Parmesan cheese. So indulge with me here. I'm gonna just grate some more because I love Parmesan cheese, and it does have a little bit of protein in it. Okay, so I'm not mad. I'm not eating things, if you know what I mean. But I'm making it make sense. And I like the nuttiness, and I like how Parmesan cheese tastes against the spiciness. I will give this thing some kudos too. I'll give that some kudos. That definitely, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. So, but this, oh my gosh. It's, oh. And look, what we're going to do is just let's cut up, let's get one more thing on top of that. Because when your girl finishes her meal, I want you to be ready. You'll be like, oh yeah, we're ready for this. So I'm just going to give some garnish. Have a little bit of parsley. I need to take pictures of these when I'm done. Okay, always forget. Ooh, baby. Oh, baby. And there goes chicken and sausage Cajun pasta. High protein. I'm definitely at 50 grams there. It's 200 grams. Let's check the box again. When I say this is a high protein meal, this is a freaking high protein meal because the whole box, we're talking about, it is 200. So the whole box is 200 per serving. There's 6 servings in the box. So 6 to 1200. I mean, obviously nobody's eating 1200 grams of this. Like this is for family of 4 plus a meal for me in the morning. I'll probably have maybe a serving and a half because there's so much in there. There's volume in there that's going to fill me up. And then now we're talking about 50 grams of protein with a 200 calories. I'm going to see that 6-pack tomorrow. I'm going to see that 6-pack tomorrow. Okay. Questions. Vidalia onions still have a nice crunch, especially when they start turning translucent in the pan. Okay, I'm going to make myself. Try frozen vegetables. I really hope I like them. Less work. The frozen vegetables, I just don't know how to cook with because they are very watery and I never know, like, I don't know how to do it. But if you are able to figure it out so it's not watery, then go for it. But it takes like 6 seconds to cut up 2 peppers. Okay, now remember at the beginning I told you I was starting. Does anybody remember how much? Let's see. I started at the beginning in steps. I think I was at 9,006 and 6, like 9,000. I think it was like 9,600 steps, 12,400. So while you're cooking, look at this. You're moving. My goodness. My goal is 15,000 steps a night. So I'll probably clean up the kitchen. That will give me some more. I'm going to hit 15,000 tonight. That's how easy this is. Frozen won't work for this dish. They would be, see, that's what I'm thinking. Because it's the water. Like when you defrost it, frozen works best for like your soups where you're going to put it into something that's already very liquidy. You saw how this came together. It needs to have, each layer is doing its own thing. So if you're adding extra water, it might not work. All right. If you have not followed the channel, why not? I love the company. I love doing this. It's a luxe lifestyle on a budget. It's not only about cooking, but that's what I'm going through these days. So y'all gonna follow me while I'm going through this thing. Because this baby, I'm about to bust out and show y'all my 6-pack. I cannot believe it. But I'm telling you, it's the nutrition. Don't let them fool you. You don't gotta be in the gym all 7-9 days a week. I mean, I'm in the gym 5 days. So it's helping. And I could see the dang progress already 4 weeks in. Not even. Tomorrow will make it 4 weeks to the day that I said, Ayana, 6-pack in 6 months. And I'm about to show y'all how I'm doing it. But most of it is the food, baby. Understand how much high protein diets really will move things. Even if you're not doing anything else, if you start doing this and enjoying your food at that, you're gonna kill this. You're gonna kill this. You know, there's still somewhere left somewhere. Okay. All right. Well, I am gonna go clean up. Hey, from Pakistan, thanks you. It is very healthy. It's very delicious. It tastes so good. I cannot wait for the family. They don't even know half the time I'm feeding them what they're eating. My daughter just came down and had some and did not say a word, meaning she likes it because she's a teenager and they don't talk, right? And as I said, I'm using that pasta for the first time. I'm going to show it again. Take a picture, take a screenshot. It really is good. Neil, no, I did not use sour cream, baby. I used cottage cheese and yogurt and Parmesan cheese and seasoned it a little bit with the Cajun spices and then added it to the pot. What? Yes, watch the video. Watch the video. If you're coming in at the end, watch the video because you're going to definitely see yeah. No, I'm not from Texas. It's a shirt I bought. I just like it. But no, not from Texas. No, not from Texas. Okay. Well, I'm heading out. I got to clean up. California, they don't talk. That's true. They do not. The watch is a Fitbit. I absolutely love it. I am like always on it. Like today, I mean, I love when it gives me all of the different things. Like you got to move, you got to, you've achieved a badge, you've done this. So 12,440 steps, baby, I'm gonna hit 15,000 tonight. I'm not going to bed. It's 8 o'clock. I probably go to bed around 10:30. Oh, we're going to make 15,000 because we're crushing it. Okay. It was 9,800 steps. I went back and checked. Special master. So 12,440 steps. I didn't have to go for a walk. I just was cooking in my kitchen. Y'all could do this. Make small steps. But right now, I am crushing it. 15,000 steps a day. Crushing it. Some days it's actually more. Yesterday, I had to move around, but we're going to do this. Okay, bye everyone. Agreed, Damien Khan, did you get a notification sub but didn't? Okay, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you coming by. I'm here every night, 6:30, because I got to prep. I got to prep for the next day for everything. Either it's breakfast, lunch, dinner. I don't know yet. Tomorrow is Friday. Well, we'll see. We'll see because, Saturday I'm not going to work. So we'll see. But let me know in the comments. Do you need me coming back on Friday or you want to hear some other things, because it's a whole lifestyle budget friendly channel. So let me know if you're liking this. All right. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Make the dish. Make the dish. You saw me do it. You are able to do it in less time. Obviously, I was talking back and forth. Make the dish. And you make a big pot, you'll have it for a few nights. Make the dish. All right, Damien, thank you. I am going to sub as well because loving the tips, always on point. See you tomorrow, 6:30, this channel. Have a wonderful evening. Bye, everyone.